So you may notice that I've extended the island out just a little bit. I've built like 4 more quadrants around our floating island here. And the main reason that I've done that is because as much as I love the base design that we have here, I quite like this vertical base design. It takes way too long to get up and down throughout this base. For one, we're already running out of space. There's not a ton of space on this design here. And 2, if I come down to work on something down here, getting back up to the top, whilst not incredibly slow, still takes multiple seconds. And so going up and down so much throughout the course of a stream, I end up spending 10, 15 minutes of a 2-hour stream just slowly moving up and down, vertically to try and get around the base. And so I figured that I would put down a little bit more space around this upper level here so we can just kind of fly forward and backwards and put down some new stuff on a closer level. But yeah, I set up a new platform area, and really what I want to work on in today's episode is trying to automate some recipes that we're going to use a lot of, but are also a little tricky to automate, specifically recipes from the extended crafting mod. We want to be able to automate the Ender Crafter, and if possible, I would also like to be able to automate some recipes in the Ultimate Crafting Tables. There are a couple of tiers of Ultimate Crafting Table. I think there are 4 tiers of Ultimate Crafting Table, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see here. Crafting Table, or 4 tiers of Extended Crafting. We've got the Basic, the Advanced, the Elite, and the Ultimate Crafting Table, and we do need, I think, at least 2 of these. I don't necessarily know if we need all 4 of them, because I'm fairly certain the first one here doesn't have, I think we do have to have this one because we do need these weirdly named metals if we're going to make some of the really late game stuff, as well as making creative essence. And so really we do need to have that ready to be automated. And then tier 2 only makes garden cloches. And so I don't think we need to automate tier 2. I'm not certain, but I'm fairly certain that we're not going to need that many garden cloches that we need to have them automatically being made. But we are definitely going to have to automate the production of crafts in tier 3 because we need so many of these crystalline ingots, and then on from there, of course, we need to automate the crafting of tier 4 because you'll see there were 46 recipes, and a bunch of them, like the recipe for the infinity ingot here, is definitely needed. We're going to use so many of those going forward. And so that's kind of my base plan for today, is to try and automate some of those recipes. Also, I completely forgot about this, but we are out of storage. We have like a little bit of space left in here, but you can see we're at 62 out of 63 types. And so one of the first things that we do need to do in today's stream is quickly go ahead and, did I not autocraft or teach our system how to autocraft 64K crafting components? I thought I did. Although maybe not. 64K, what are these called? They're called ME storage components. ME storage. Stored/craftable. Excuse me? I really thought we taught this in the last... Oh, my system has disconnected. This is not online. Why are you not online? Like all of my machines down here are offline. Oh, I know why. It's because I'm a fool. I am a fool. So you may have noticed last night's thumbnail had the transmutation table here in the middle, and the thumbnail kind of looked like this. To get that thumbnail, I had to disconnect a wire. ME glass. Here we go. My bad, chat. I need to go ahead and just reconnect a cable that looks something like this, I believe. Yeah. Whoops. All right, there we go. Everything's glowing again. All right, everything should be back online. Hopefully. All right, so we are low on both logic and calculation processes, and I'm kind of at the stage in the game where I'm thinking that it might be worthwhile us trying to just automate, if we need something, automate it as we go, right? Like, for example, right now, my stuff is up here, the crystal growth chamber, and, oh, it's popped off again. Gosh, dang it. The advanced inscriber was here, but I think the bug has caused it to pop off again and thus despawn. But I'm thinking we should probably look towards actually setting up a system to where we can automatically request those crafting components, right? We can automatically request the processors and the circuits required to make those 64K crafting components. And so let me go ahead here and make a couple of advanced inscribers. Hopefully these are not too difficult to make. They don't seem too bad. And I'm kind of, again, in this mind frame where I'm thinking I might like automate the production of hoppers. Maybe the production of sticky pistons could be useful. You know, regular pistons and whatnot. Do we have our slime in the system? We do. Fantastic. So that shouldn't be too bad. How many of these am I going to need? I need one for each processor. We got 3 processors: calculation, engineering, and logic. I'm also probably going to need one. How do I want to do this? Do I need 6 of these? Because each of these need Like I might need one inscriber for each of the circuits, and then one for each of the processes, and then also one to make silicon. Do I need 7 advanced inscribers to make this work? I think that's the case. Either way, I'll make a bunch of pistons here, and we'll try and get this show on the road. I'm out of space. Let me, actually, okay, first things first, let's make like one really cheap 1K ME storage drive. That should allow us to actually craft inside of this system, because we don't actually really need a 64K drive. Our big problem, I think, is types, not bytes. Like a lot of these you'll see are not even anywhere near full on bytes. This one's a little near full, but the rest of them are about half full on bytes, but are mostly full on types. And so really it's just the number of drives that's a problem right now, not the density of the drives. Sticky pistons, kapow, and then we'll go ahead and make a bunch of these. Do we have, again, stuff like fluix crystals? I feel like should definitely be on our list of things to autocraft, especially given that they're not too difficult to autocraft to begin with. I'm really just thinking about where I want to do it. With the fluix crystals, all we have to do is have a pool of water somewhere and then tell the system that if it sends nether quartz, charged status quartz, and redstone to a dropper, that it will generate fluix crystals, right? And part of me is kind of thinking about doing it down here somewhere on this level, because we've got quite a bit of space down here. But at the same time, I kind of like that this is clean and simple. I'm thinking I might do it up on one of our newer levels, potentially, over here somewhere. I think, much like with this island over here, if I want to get Applied Energistics over to this island, I might have to use the wireless AE2 mod. Although, somewhat annoyingly, every time I log off and log back on, this wireless connector has disconnected. And so none of this stuff here is connected to our system until I manually go and I grab my wireless tool, which I think is in here. It is. And I manually reconnect this. I don't know if that's a bug or if it's just like the chunks unloading and thus it disconnects. I'm not quite sure why that is, but it's a pain nonetheless. Arrow says you can make the fluix crystals in the crystal growth chamber. That is a fair point, actually. Is that the pure version of the fluix crystals? Are those what we would make in the crystal growth chamber? I assume so, right? Like this is doable in the crystal growth chamber. You can put in the fluix seed. I don't know if you can make the regular versions in there, but then again, these are the fluix seeds are not particularly difficult to make, right? Fluix seeds. It's just sand and fluix dust. So this does rely on us already having dust. You can make the regular ones too. How does one do that? Can I just put like the required ingredients in there? Like if I grab some nether quartz, some charged status quartz, and some redstone, can I just throw these into here and make... Oh! That is super cool. I had no idea that worked. Oh my goodness. Okay, in that case, then I'm going to grab this real quick because I'm thinking, again, one of the big reasons why I've got the new island is because we are going to have to automate a lot of stuff. And part of me is just thinking we just start putting machines down over here somewhere. Annoyingly, I've tried to fit it around the pre-existing island, which is already a circle, right? And so, unfortunately, it's got this curved edge, which really doesn't work well for a game that has blocked-shaped items. Although I guess I could just kind of go diagonally and try and curve around the edge like that. Maybe. We'll see. But nevertheless, let's quickly go and grab another... again, I'm going to keep forgetting that I can just open my wireless crafting terminal and then craft in here. But let's see about making another set of these guys, if possible. We do need... are those pure fluix crystals? They are indeed. All right, let's go ahead in that case then and quickly grab some fluix seeds. And I'm just realizing now that I'm going to have to go ahead and move this guy back over to power real quick so I can actually get these fluix seeds to grow up into pure fluix crystals. But once we have those, we should be able to set up another wireless connection and thus automate this and have it connected to the system whilst over on our new island over here. Don't those crystals have an EMC value? Ooh. See, this is another thing that I'm going to completely... They do. You are correct. It's another thing I'm going to completely forget to use, and the Twitch chat is going to shout at me every time, which is a good thing, because otherwise I will completely forget. But that is a good point. Whenever I can craft something, chat, please remind me, because otherwise I will forget every single time. Which does remind me, though, there is a tome of knowledge in this pack, and it's a difficult recipe, but it's not crazy. It's not the most difficult recipe in the pack. There are definitely more difficult recipes than this, like significantly more. This one doesn't seem too bad. It's a bunch of enhanced ender ingots, which are ender ingots and ender stars. We've made the ender stars before. They're not too bad. We are going to have to look at some point into getting nether star seeds from mystical agriculture so we can grow nether stars, or maybe even setting up a woot farm to spawn withers over and over again. Either of those would work. We also need to do a little bit more abyssal craft to get some calorium plates, and we need to work through to get the infinity ingots. But again, they're not super difficult. The neutronium ingots should be doable. The ultimate ingots are not too bad. Manulin, signalum, crystalline, lumium, enderium, and then kelline, which I don't know if we have any kelline. I think it's from Landcraft. Let me check in here real quick. We don't. I have no idea. Maybe we have some in our Landcraft miner? Let me go check real quick. I'm not planning on making the Tome of Knowledge anytime soon. It's the difficult recipe that's going to take us way too much time. But just kind of in the back of my mind, I'd like to have an idea of how difficult it's going to be. See, we didn't get any here. It's quite possible I've like thrown it away. I'm hoping I've not voided it with this basic item filter. No, I've only been voiding basic resources there. So I'm not quite sure how we get this ingot. It doesn't look like it's an alloy of any kind. So I'm not quite sure, but other than that ingot, the rest of the Tome of Knowledge doesn't seem too difficult. Do drives have an EMC? That's also a good question. Let's have a look. They do, indeed. And so I guess we could very easily take the drive that we just made. I don't know. I'm assuming it doesn't copy it with the ingredients in it. That would be insane, right? Yeah, it's got 0 in there, but we can go ahead and just quickly replicate what we have here, which I think is most certainly going to be the easiest way to do this, just to very quickly make our system much more usable. But thank you for the reminder there, chat. That's going to make my life so much easier going forward here. What was I working on? I was working on the wireless A2 channels. Here we go. So I need 2 of these. One, and of course we don't have any of the stuff required to make the next one. That's fine. Kappa, wireless receiver, and hopefully wireless connector. Nice. And so once again, these things do use a butt ton of power, and I am a little concerned that we might not have enough power. I'm also a little concerned about how many of these I put down. As I mentioned, they do tend to disconnect somewhat awkwardly between streams, and so if I get to the point where I have like 10 of these, it's going to become awkward remembering which one's connected to which and all kinds of stuff. So really would like to keep these to a minimum. I might try and connect all of these outer rings to this one. It is going to look a little awkward with cables running under here, but I might just have to live with it for the sake of practicality. So yeah, you can see we've run out of juice here. Our AE2 system has gone offline. I think that we can probably rectify this by either putting more Spectre coils down onto this to give it more power, or by potentially... Actually, I don't know. I was going to say potentially by putting down more energy cells, although I don't think the energy cells are going to help. I think we do need to put down just another Spectre coil to bring more energy into here. That is assuming that we are able to transfer more energy, which I assume we are. Right now we're producing... What? Is this... how much do these things produce? Solar panel, tier 7, they produce 8,000. So we're making 32,000 RF per tick. That does mean that if this is using more than, I think, the 20,000 Spectre coil, this guy can transfer 20,480. So if this is using more than 20,000 redstone flux, which wouldn't surprise me, the wireless connectors are very RF intensive, it would mean that we need to upgrade our power source. And then also, I think a bigger problem is that we've not got enough, a good enough energy cell. Like right now we're producing 32,000, but we can only input or output a maximum of 9,000 redstone flux per tick. And so really, I think the first thing that we should probably do is look towards... Oh, our wireless system is constantly out of range. We're not out of juice, are we? It is nighttime, so the solar panels are not working right now, but we do have a bunch of redstone flux in there. The system is online, although it does keep disconnecting, which I don't love. I'm going to disconnect this real quick. Ever since we added the new AUTOCRAFTers downstairs, I think the AE2 system is probably using a bit more power than it's used to. And so, let's have a look here. First of all, can I turn off controls, /key? I would like to map. I'd like to turn off my map setting, switch map preset. I don't want a key for that, because I keep going for Z, which is my wireless crafting terminal, and then accidentally hitting /, which changes my minimap in the top right there, which is not what I'm after. But nevertheless, let's see here. So I would like to see about making a higher tier energy cell. I guess what we could do, and they're not called energy cells, they are called... I've forgotten the name completely. Oh, no, they are called energy cells. We just have to upgrade it with the upgrade kit, right? I think right now we're at the reinforced upgrade kit level. The next tier here is Signalum. Thankfully, the signalum itself is going to be easier to make, given that we made a new alloy smelter in the last episode. 10 redstone, 1 silver, and 3 copper. So significantly easier than, say, going through Tinker's Construct or trying to craft the blend and then smelting it. But the cryothium dust, snowballs, blizz powder. Blizz powder can be made with the fluid transposer using XP and snowballs. It's a bit of an involved setup, though. But might be one that we just have to bite the bullet and go for. Sure, let's go ahead. We're going to have to make fluid transposers anyway, because as I mentioned before, we're going to need to automate a ton of stuff going forward here. And so let's see about getting some signalum. So, and also we do need enderium for a bunch of things. And so getting this stuff set up sooner rather than later, I think is going to be useful. So fluid transposer is thankfully not too difficult to make. We're only missing a couple of copper gears, which I'm going to make a stack of just because we're always going to need them. And I'm going to have to remember again that we've got it set to shift with Kappa. I'm going to change this to my inventory because it's going to drive me insane. I'm going to forget every time and make way too much of something because it was previously set to put, if I shift click a recipe out, it would just put it back into the system automatically, which is just going to confuse me every single time. So I'm going to move this over just by 1 block. Like that. And then we'll start putting thermal expansion machines down like this. And then I think we'll go like here, and then we'll go here, and here, and we'll try and, you know, I think it's going to look a little weird, especially when you get to this point where it's going like back and forth, but we'll try and make it work. So we have a fluid transposer. We also need a way to get experience out of ourselves and into the fluid transposer. We do have open blocks, and so I think the grate, I believe it's called, the XP grate, or the item grate. What is it called? Is it the XP drain? There is an XP drain singularity tank at open blocks. Do we not have... Surely. I haven't used this from mob grinding utilities, and so I'm quite interested to see how this works. It's not too expensive. Again, I'm going to go ahead and just make like a stack of chests here because we need them for all kinds of stuff. We never have wood available to us, ever. So I'll just go ahead and quickly do something like that and see about getting us one of these. We do need a singularity tank, which sounds a lot more expensive than it actually is. But that should be pretty much everything we need to make a drain, like so. And then, yeah, it does the exact same job. Okay, perfect. I did waste a bit of XP there, but we do have pretty much infinite XP in the form of... can you auto pull in, is my question? It does need an augment. Auto input, yeah. So if I do... I might be able to get away, chat, with just doing something like this, and then setting the right side to input, and then auto input on. You can't like suck from that adjacent machine. You need me to manually pump that in. Wishful thinking there, chat. Wishful thinking. So this does work. Let's go ahead and grab some solidified experience cubes, of which we have 24,000. Go ahead and just quickly, rapidly right-click those. There we go. Fantastic. And that's going to drain us into here. That's filling up quite nicely. We probably don't need that many. I'm going to assume that we don't have any snowballs. We got 7 snowballs. I have no idea where from, but I'm going to put these in here because otherwise I'm going to forget about them. Also, I'm going to put these in here as well because I would like to be able to get more of those. And while I'm at it, I might as well do that. And I would also like more glass cable as well in the future. And we should just probably scan pretty much everything that it's possible I could need more of going forward. And so just scan all the things. My tool doesn't have an EMC. You know what? I'll scan this as well. Why not? Yeah, we should really just scan everything and anything. Also, I'm going to quickly... Does this have an EMC value? It does. I'm going to scan my wireless crafting terminal as well, just in case I lose this one by some happenstance. And unfortunately, the angel ring does not have an EMC value. That sucks, but it's fine. All right. So, where was I at? I was trying to make stuff, but I need my snowballs. Which now, thankfully, we can just grab them here. Beautiful. Spectre string doesn't have an EMC. None of this stuff has an EMC value. I do wish that more of this was EMCable. Thankfully, we do have an ectoplasm sapling or a Spectre sapling on the lower levels of the platform. And so for the most part, this is fine. Also, this fluid transposer is not going to need more than 4,096 redstone flux per tick. And so for now, that should do just fine. All right, blaze powder achieved. We do only need 2 cryothium dust to actually get the signalum upgrade kit. So signalum upgrade kit, here we go. And did we put our, or did we leave our alloy smelter over here? We did. I'm going to move stuff from here over to the new island. because I kind of want to consolidate everything and set up a new area for machines. This is probably not going to be needed here, so I'm going to get rid of this. There we go. Eventually, this will become like a fluid transposer that we used to autocraft with. That's the idea, at least. And for now, I'm going to put this here, even though in the future, I'll probably look towards trying to put my machines in clusters based on what mod they're from. So I'll probably have like a section for NYO machines, a section for thermal expansion machines, a section for stuff from AE2. But for now, I just want to get this down. Also, I would very much so like to not have to put a spectacle on every single machine that I have. And so I'm hoping, chat, first of all, do these solar panels have EMC? They totally do. That is fantastic. Although we did spend a lot of time setting up the autocrafting for those solar panels, the fact that we can just duplicate them now with the transmutation table here is fantastic. But more importantly than that, I would love one of these energy cells, because now I can just go ahead and put an energy cell down over here, stick the spectacle on this guy, which I will first upgrade, because once we start putting down even more machines, it is somewhat feasible, although I think still unlikely that we hit the 20,000 redstone flux per tick limit. But we'll go ahead and make one of those. Whack this guy on here. I'm going to have to upgrade this. Obviously, right now it can only do 1,000 in and out, but that's fine. And then do we have any kind of decent flux ducts? We do have a few hardened flux ducts, which should be okay. And I was just thinking we could make some more, but you know what? We can probably just EMC some more. Kapow. I love it. It is going to make little things like that easier. I was complaining earlier about how not enough stuff was EMCable, but it definitely does make the little things like that a little bit easier. Boom and boom. Fantastic. So it can now input and output 9,000 redstone flux per tick. Still not making use of that 20,000 there, but that is fine. And then over here, we need to get ourselves some copper, as well as some redstone and some silver. That's going to allow us to make some signalum, at which point I think we should be able to finally go ahead and make ourselves the upgrade kit, the signalum upgrade kit. And at that point, I'm kind of thinking about moving over to the resonant upgrade kit as well. It does require a lithium gear. Lithium is an alloy made from glowstone, silver, and tin. Again, not super difficult. And then pyrotheum dust, which is blaze powder, sulfur dust, and redstone. I think sulfur dust is really going to be the only thing that could stop us there. I'm fairly certain. We got 7,777 sulfur dust. Fantastic. And we also have nearly 10,000 blaze powder as well, which is great. All right, perfect. So it was tin, it was silver, and it was glowstone. We're also hearing the quest complete sound, which I feel like I haven't heard in a while. All right, so signalum upgrade kit should be good to go. We do need an electrum gear, but we've got electrum lying around already. Fantastic. And then from there, upgrading to the resonant upgrade kit shouldn't be too difficult. We do need aluminum gear. I say it shouldn't be too difficult, and then nothing shifts clicked in. But pyrotheum dust, easy enough. And then now that we've got the alloy smelter, getting the enderium here shouldn't be too bad. It's just 2 enderium base and sand, and then the enderium base is made again in the alloy smelter with ender pearls, platinum, and lead. I don't know if we have platinum. Oh, we do. Fantastic. Ender pearls and lead. Fantastic. Did I not get the lead there? I think my inventory might have been full. We do need to set up some kind of automated sand system. Like we do have a little bit of sand, but nowhere near enough. And I think I did just put my enderium base back in here. I did. Kapow. Wasn't interested in glass there, but that's fine. All right. So we have the enderium ingots here, or the enderium ingots. And so now we should be able to make our resonant upgrade. Fantastic. And then with that, we should now be able to upgrade our energy cell here to the maximum tier. Now, I'm not quite sure actually how much RF per tick the max tier transfers. The signalum tier does 16,000, so I would assume that the top tier here does 32,000. 25,000. Ah! That's not brilliant. Although I guess... No, that's not brilliant. Like, 25,000 in and out is not great. Right here we've got 8, 16, 24. Just with these 3 solar panels, we're almost maxing out this energy cell. So we could really do with something bigger than this. EMC. Oh, I'm an idiot. Ah, I should have saved the... Oh, no, they don't have EMC. The higher tiers, at least. The bottom tiers do, but the top ones don't, unfortunately. I can still EMC the other parts of this here. Again, pyrotheum dust. See, this is the kind of thing that I would have thought would have an EMC. It seems like a lot of the stuff from thermal expansion doesn't, but I guess they just want you to autocraft pyrotheum dust. But, yeah, I kind of wish this was better. I'm kind of thinking we maybe should have gone for the basic not basic, but the highest tier energy bank, capacitor bank from Ender.io. That might have been a better solution. Now that we've done all that, or even despite that we've just done all that, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this back down here for now to connect up this and this. But despite doing that, I think I am temporarily at least going to go and grab some ME cable, which we can grab out of our transmutation table. And, oh, that's not correct. ME cable. And I'm just going to hook up this island. It's not going to look great. I'm going to have it come through like here as well, so I can put on, I want to put ME interfaces, of course, along the top here, so we can AUTOCRAFT certain recipes. Remind me, chat, if I don't remember to not allow this to connect, otherwise it's going to pop off and break between streams. But essentially, I'm just going to run this, for now at least, along and across like this. At some point in the future, I might try and hide this, either using the Ender.io conduits or some other form of ME conduit hiding technology. But for the time being, for the sake of this just working for now, I'm going to run this along. It's going to look bad, chat. It's going to look real bad. But believe in me just a little bit, and it'll all be fine. This is what I call Nick cabling. This is just horrible. You should see some of the stuff that Nick set up in the latest Satisfactory series. Not Satisfactory, Sky Factory 4 episodes. Jeez, is it ever just horrible to look at. But nevertheless, let us grab some quartz fiber and disconnect this so it doesn't break. Like so we can get power but doesn't you know, destroy itself while I'm offline. And then we could also do with ME interface. So the ME interface is another thing that I would like to be able to request. And stuff like this, the formation cores, the annihilation cores, are also things that I think we should teach our system how to make. But I kind of feel like we need to teach our system how to make the processes before we start teaching our system how to make the things that it can make with the processes, right? I think it's just a 1-to-1 ratio, right? Like it's 1 nether quartz. Please work here. 1 nether quartz, 1 redstone, and 1 charged Certus quartz. We might have to teach our system. Oh, we've got 16,000 charged Certus quartz. I was going to say we might have to teach our system how to charge Certus quartz, but it looks like we're fine. It looks like, if anything, we might just have to increase the size of whichever drawer is holding Certus quartz. I assume right now it's hitting a limit and voiding excess Certus quartz as opposed to holding it. I should really go down and take a look at all my storage drawers and make sure they've all got plenty of storage upgrades in them so they can hold, you know, hundreds of thousands of every single item. But here we're going to go 1, 1, 1, and I believe that makes 2 fluix crystals, if memory serves me right, like this. So we encode that, and then we go and we put this in over here. I do have a sneaking suspicion that while this might work at putting the items in to the crystal growth chamber, I don't think it's going to pull these out correctly. I think that we might have to, I like to do this. I think we might have to have a cable that pumps out of the crystal growth chamber, potentially. Let's have a look. Fluix crystal. If I go ahead and request 10 fluix crystals, next, and start, it's going to send. It made them, yeah, but they don't get pushed out. All right, that's fine. The solution to that is not too bad. So let's grab some item conduits. I'm a little concerned that it's going to pull out. I think I'm going to need a filter for this. I was going to say I'm a little concerned that it's going to pull out the base ingredients as well, because there's no way for it to know what it can and can't pull out of here. There's no like input and output section for the crystal growth chamber, which if you're watching mod dev for AE2 stuff, having an input and output slot in here would be great. But if we just go ahead and we disconnect this, here we're going to extract always active. I'll do the always active in just a second once I have set my filter to specifically only extract fluix crystals. I am going to have to cancel this craft here, I think, because I'm about to take these out of here, and I don't think I can put them back in. Nope, I cannot. So we'll go extract, whitelist, you, and always active. Okay, so now if I try that again, fluix crystals, we've got 124. If I request 100, start, fluix crystals, it's working. Nice. I think right now we're limited potentially by the speed of the item conduit. I don't know if we have any more speed upgrades for the item conduits. We can always make some. I know we do have some somewhere around the base. We got them as like a loot bag reward really early on in the pack. But for now, that's fine. So long as it gets the job done, that's A-okay. If at some point in the future, this starts to be a point of slowness for us, if we get to a point where this is what's slowing down the entire system, we can always go and put more speed upgrades into this. But this is nice. I would like a couple of inscribers. I'm going to go with 7, which is probably overkill, but I think will work just fine. So you can, I'm going to go, how expensive are the advanced inscribers? They are a little pricey, but really only in the form of engineering processes. And we got 72. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade these just to make importing and exporting from the inscribers easier. Like, you can do this fairly easily with basic inscribers, but the added benefit of the advanced inscriber is that you don't have to worry about which side things pump into and which side you pull things out of. And so I'm just going to work with what we've got for now. And part of me is thinking, because we have 7, I'm kind of thinking of doing something like this, which is completely inconsistent with what I've done over here. But if anything, chat, I think I'm known for my inconsistency. And so for now, I might move these in the future. But again, as a proof of concept, just to get this working, I'm going to leave this here and we can maybe move them in the future. So I'm going to need 7 interfaces to get this to work. How many ME interfaces can I make? 8. Perfect. It's one more than perfect, but that's fine. That's also perfect. So I'll throw all these down like so, and I'll take a quick detour here to set up 2 more P2P tunnels. And ideally, my thought process here, so I want 1, 2, 3, and 4. My thought process is that we'll have 1 P2P tunnel per quadrant. So for example, over here, I'll put down a P2P tunnel both here and probably also get rid of this here. And I do forget I can use my crescent hammer to shift right click. I know people are going to shout at me for that, but we'll hook these up. And then from there, we do also need to give these power. I can do that in just a second here. But from there, we'll then have 1 P2P tunnel that kind of comes out on this side somewhere. And again, I think ideally you want it to come out on dense cable just so you can get the most out of it. Do we have any dense cable left? We should do, right? Yeah, we do. Nice. ME dense cable, fluix. Got 5 ME dense smart cable. All right, so I'm thinking change this up a little bit, get rid of this. And I know I just said moments ago that I could use the freaking, what's it called? The crescent hammer. Let's not forget for a 3rd time here, Isaac. Get rid of this. And then P2P tunnel goes here and connection. And then quartz fiber and pow. It's not going to work. I need an anchor to prevent this from connecting right there. Boom. All right, perfect. Because now we can run this, up and around and connect up to 32 ME interfaces along this side. And then we'll do the same thing over on this side as well. We will run this cable. Again, very extreme. I cannot exaggerate or express or emphasize is the actual word I'm looking for. I cannot emphasize enough just how temporary this is, chat. All right? Extremely temporary. Dense cable, Kappa, P2P tunnel, and connection. We then need our good old trusty memory card. Shift right click and right click. Like that. And shift right click and right click like that. So now those should be connected. Those should be transferring 32 channels directly from the controller over to those 2 areas. All we need to do now is go ahead and make sure that I think, does this already have power? I don't think so, right? I don't think this actually sends power because it's connected directly to the P2P tunnel. So I think I will actually need to get, also I don't think that will transfer channels yet. I think bizarrely I'm gonna have to do something like this, because these cannot connect to the controller to pull channels, and these 2 need 2 channels to run over. So this looks bizarre, but I think will work. And then over here, we need some more of those quartz fibers to actually connect power round to the top bit, which I can actually do instead of having this anchor here. Like this. So now power will connect up to this, but the channels won't. It's a convoluted system, chat. Don't worry about it. just don't worry about it. All right. Here we go. And then you, and there we go. Perfect. So this should now work as well. We should now be able to go ahead and do something like this, connect all of these up, and have them autocraft some circuits for us. That's the plan, at least. I don't necessarily think we have to point these down, but in the interest of being safe, I will. Like so. So. We then need our presses, which might be in this chest down here. Did I leave them over here? I did. Fantastic. This first one can be silicon, like so, because that's kind of the odd one out here. Not that, it's in there. Silicon is the kind of the odd one out, because then these first three are going to be engineering. They're going to be logic. Actually, I'm going to start with logic. Like that, logic, and then engineering, and then calculation. Kapow. All right. So this one is going to turn regular old silicon into printed silicon. We might even have to teach our system how to make silicon, because I don't think that we have done that yet. So in here, I believe we're just smelting Certus quartz dust, if I'm not mistaken. So Certus quartz dust, a singular Certus quartz dust, that is, equals 1 singular silicon in code. And then I'm hoping that we already have a furnace set up to autocraft with. We do not. We've got the Zenith furnace here. Let me just check that I am correct in this. I am. It makes 2, actually. Oh, it makes 2 because it's the Zenith furnace, of course. We don't have a smelter, which is bizarre. I really did think we have one. Silicon does have an EMC, but I'm thinking like on the long scale of automation, outside of, you know, setting up an energy condenser and then using that to autocraft the EMC, which is a much more expensive way of doing it. We can, you know, make silicon using the transmutation table, but we want to be able to teach our system to make it so that it can always make it. You know, we don't want to have to make the silicon to then put it in. The EMC link can pull out. Of course, I always forget about the EMC link. We do have Project EX in this. The EMC link is a little expensive, the first tier here, and they've actually, I think, updated the mod to include these different tiers of EMC link now. At least I don't see the one that we used in Sky Odyssey. The first tier of EMC link does require 1 red matter block and then a bunch of different covalence dusts. So we did teach our system last time how to make dark matter. Red matter is just dark matter with Aeternalis fuel. So the question is, can we craft red matter? 1 piece of red matter. Really, the only thing that could hold us back is our CPU size. It's going to calculate here. Only uses 5,000 bytes. Okay, that's perfect. Again, I'm still a little worried about the way it's pulled 13, 1, and 1 on the Philosopher's Stone front, but I'm going to believe in my system. We did make multiple Philosopher's Stones to speed this up so that it can make alchemical core, Mobius fuel, and Aeternalis fuel all at the same time. Nice. In before crash. Okay. Red matter. It worked. All right, fantastic. EMC link. So if I want to go ahead and grab one of these, we now can, and I will throw it in here just to be safe. So the EMC link, if I'm not mistaken, we throw this thing down, and then have they changed the way this works, chat? Or do I need a personal EMC link to make this work? If so, that's a little more expensive. You didn't save it? Did I not save it in the, it's in there. Oh, I didn't save the red matter. Whoops. That is true, I didn't. I'll go craft one more real quick. You need the personal one. Ah. Okay. What's the point of the basic EMC link? Does that do anything, or is that just on its own? I'm a little concerned then, because to get the personal EMC link, we do need a Mark II energy condenser, which isn't too bad. It does need some Lordcraft mana-infused ingots, but we've made the Endermium plates, we've got the Supremium ingots, we can make these red matter blocks, although it might take a while, and then Insanium we can make as well. So it is doable, I think. We need a bunch of 64K ME storage components, we also need the crystalline ingots. For these, diamond lattices need automating, lapis is done. Cobalt we don't have automated yet, but it does have an EMC value, so I think, chat, that we can make this work. And I think I'm going to have to do a lot of detouring to get back to around to creating the circuits here, but I think it's going to be worth it. So I don't think that we made the... What is the name of this thing here? It's called the automation interface. I don't think we made this, right? We were looking at this at the beginning of the episode, right? I started looking to make this and then realized that my system was out of storage. So the automation interface is a machine that allows us to autocraft with stuff from the extended crafting mod. Most notably, and also, do we have elite catalysts available to craft? We do. I would love you to make one of those for me, please, game. Thank you. But most notably, it allows us to craft with the crafting tables, the advanced crafting tables, that is, and also with the ender crafter down there. So, back over here, we need 2 more crystalline components, which, again, I think we can craft. Maybe. We don't have crystalline components saved? Oh my goodness. Okay, let me quickly teach our system how to make crystalline components. Oh, we need crystalline ingots, and we don't have any. That's why, of course, crystalline. Okay, my idea here is to teach our system how to make crystalline ingots, and in doing so, request more crystalline ingots. Now, we did upgrade, somewhat annoyingly, our tier 3 crafting table to a tier 4 crafting table because we needed it to make the Philosopher's Stone. However, in the extended crafting, you do need one of each crafting table. You can't craft tier 3 crafts in a tier 4 crafting table, and so we are going to have to get another elite tier 3 crafting table. Thankfully, our system does know how to make it, and so I will go ahead and request that. We are missing 70 black iron ingots. Black iron ingots are something that I would like to get taught to our system so it can make it, but for now, biotite, jade, and iron ingots. Biotite, jade, and iron ingots. And again, on our list of things to do here is to increase the number of ender alternators that we have here, because right now we are nowhere near the limit of how many ender alternators we can have. It goes 3 out in every direction, but then also 3 up and down. Right now we're only going like 1 up, so we can put another 2 levels above this, and I think another 3 levels beneath it. So quite a few more ender alternators to make this quite a bit faster. And also on top of that, automate the process of actually generating things like this black iron in the ender crafter. All right, we've got the black iron, and so now we should be able to go ahead and request a tier 3 crafting table here. Begin. Hopefully that won't take too many years. As I mentioned at the start of the stream, I'm also fairly certain that we're going to need a tier 1 crafting table as well, but not a tier 2. We're missing 12 black iron, which I think should be done. It is, nice. Okie dokie. So, we will throw you back in here, and then we'll grab a tier 1 crafting table real quick, like so. We don't need that just yet, but we are going to need it in the future. For now, we're going to take our tier 3 elite crafting table, and we're going to see about making the automation interface, which needs 2 crystalline ingots, which needs 2 crystalline interfaces, sorry, which needs 4 crystalline ingots. And so we need a bunch of stuff there. Thankfully, none of that stuff I don't think is super hard for us to get. We've got a lot of diamonds, almost 100,000, so getting diamond lattices is not going to be too difficult. Lapis, we've also got in abundance, although again, that's another one of those resources where I really think that we are limited by the size of our storage drawer. Do I have a concealment key? I do. So this is a little awkward to work with. So I have to break my storage bus to get to my draw controller here, but if I unconceal this, you can see where everything is. The reason I am concealing things, by the way, is because it helps the frame rate. These really do kind of tank the frame rate. But you can see here, we've only got a void upgrade in, whereas, for example, with iron, which is over here, we've got, that's not iron, iron is over here, we've got 2 gold and an emerald upgrade kit in, and so we can really hold significantly more iron, hence the fact that we've got I think like 400,000 iron, and it's not showing up in there because I've just broken the storage bus, but hence why we've got so much more iron than anything else. So let me see, do I have any more upgrade kits? I don't. I've got a bunch of void upgrade kits, but let's throw you back down and reconnect that real quick, like so. And also, whilst I'm at it, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Fantastic. And then let's see about making a couple more emerald upgrade kits. All right, we'll make a few of those, and Kappa. Nice. All right, so I'll put like 2 in there, and then redstone does have one, but I'll put another one in. So stuff like this is really going to help us with having just a lot of everything. Like most of our things are limited right now, where we're voiding excess based on how much we can store, which is not the best. I think coal is one that I've upgraded. It is. That's why we've got so much coal. Blaze powder could probably do with an upgrade. Quartz probably doesn't need an upgrade, actually, because we're not making quartz actively. We've got it in seed form, and then we craft it from there. Glowstone? Is glowstone being upgraded? It is. All right, I think that's fine for now. That should get the job done and should help us get more of everything going forward. Kapow. All right, that's fine. We only need 4 of these. That's okay. I'm going to leave the rest of those in there for now. We're going to come back to that in just a second here. And so back to the automation interface. Boom. What are we missing? We're missing just the slate. That is fine. So, chat, the way this works is I am going to clear out my inventory real quick here. Just kind of dump some of this stuff that we're not actively using just yet. And then I'm also going to go ahead and grab all of this out of here. I'm going to take you. And I think I might have just put an ME interface back in the system, but I do need an ME interface here, because over on this side, I am going to, again, temporary placing, because I'll probably set up an area for all of the crafting tables at some point in the future. But for now, if I put it like here, and we put the automation interface on top of the elite crafting table, and then we put an ME interface on top of that, we should now be able to autocraft with the elite crafting table. Now, the way this works is in here, I'm going to go ahead and shift click in this recipe. And then in the automation interface, I'm going to go ahead and click save recipe. You'll see that's gone ahead and saved the crystalline ingot. So now this knows how to make the crystalline ingot. I do think that we have to have one elite crafting table for every single elite crafting recipe that we make. So for example, this crafting table I think is going to be solely used to make crystalline ingots. We would need a second one to autocraft crystal matrix ingots. Let me know if I'm wrong on that, but I think that's how that works. It does need redstone flux. Thankfully, we have got both flux ducts and power ready to go. So this now has power. And if we were to go ahead and... Did I take all this back? Oh no, it made one. It made an ingot for me because I gave it power. Okay, of course. What I really need to do is I need to now teach our system how to make these crystalline ingots. So, how do you spell crystalline? What am I doing wrong here? Crystalline. 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 Oh, crystalline ingots. When you've been saying the word wrong for 20 hours now, for the entirety of the pack. So, 8 diamond lattices, 10 lapis, 4 cobalt, 4 osmium, and 2 pure status quartz. So 8 of you. That's not how you do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 diamond lattices. We need 4 osmium. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not 4. That's 6, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. 4 osmium. And then 2 pure status quartz crystals. We are going to have to teach our system how to make pure status quartz crystals. Thankfully, that shouldn't be too difficult. And then what else did we need? We needed 4 cobalt, which we don't have yet, but we can get from our EMC machine over here, aka the transmutation table. That is, yeah, table. I was going to say tablet, but it's not. 4 of you. And then what else do we need? What am I missing here? Just the 10 lapis, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Gosh dang it. Every time, man. 10. I think that's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then we teach that makes 1 crystalline ingot in code. And then if we place that into our ME interface, like so, we should now, chat, be able to request those crystalline ingots. So if I want 10, and I click next, you'll see we're missing a bunch of stuff. So we do need to teach our system how to make lattices and how to make cobalt and how to make pure status quartz crystals. But we could theoretically make them. Now, the cobalt is probably something that I'm going to make with my personal EMC link, because as I mentioned before, we're not making it. So for now, just to kickstart the system, I'm going to just make a bunch of cobalt and throw it in there. The pure status quartz crystals are kind of the same deal, honestly. We could teach our system how to make it, and I will do, actually. I'll teach you how to make status quartz seeds, just because we've got so much status quartz essence that I think we're always going to be able to make this. So we will change that to crafting, and I will teach my system how to make that. And then I will also teach it that 1 of these equals 1 of these in code. And that's obviously going to go over in here. Like so, we are going to have to go ahead and teach the system to, and by teach, I just mean add these to the whitelist so it can pull those out when they're done. That should be fine. Did I move over or did the acceleration cards move over with this? They did. Fantastic. That's great. And so now, chat, I think what we need to do is we need to teach our system how to make diamond lattices, which again shouldn't be too hard. Crafting mode every time in code. We'll throw those in over here somewhere. So boom and boom. And I think, chat, that we might be able to make some crystalline ingots here. Maybe. If I wanted to say 10 of these, we actually have what it takes now. What if I wanted 100 of these? We're missing sand, of all things. I cannot believe that sand is something that we're low on. That is insane. But let's go ahead and make like 30 of these in that case. And that probably shouldn't take too long, honestly, either. If we go over to this guy real quick, you'll see this doing its thing. It's putting the items in. It puts them in the right spot, makes the craft, and then pulls them out. It's great. Sand is the bloody bottleneck. Sand. We don't have sand being made. I think we've got... Do we not have some kind of sand production down here? We got glass being made. So we have a material stoneworks factory that's making glass, but not one that's making sand. I see. Okay, that's probably something that we should work to rectify. Again, we've got sand being made here, but that's being made for the purposes of generating clay. Gosh dang it. That's really something we need to work on for the future, because sand cannot be our limiting factor. But nevertheless, we were looking at getting the personal EMC link, this guy right here. For that, we needed to make, of course, the basic energy condenser. The basic energy condenser required those crystalline ingots. It requires 8 64K ME storage components, which thankfully our system does know how to make. So I will go ahead and, oh, of course, we're missing all of the logic and all of the calculation processes. Gosh dang it. Thankfully, with the help of some of our acceleration cards, we might be able to pull this off fairly quickly. Why not actually automate the inscribers? That's what I'm doing, my friend. That's what I'm doing. That's why all of these are here. They've got the interfaces on top of them to be inscribed upon. The reason that we started doing that was the original plan. The reason we stopped is to make silicon. I was about to automate silicon, and then chat said to me, hey Isaac, why not make the personal EMC link so that you can use the fact that the silicon has an EMC to generate the silicon as opposed to having the system auto-craft it? And I said, yeah, sure, chat, let's do that. Let's make a personal EMC link. And then you look at the recipe for the personal EMC link, and it's a freaking nightmare, and also requires a bunch of processes in the making of that. And then also, once you get an EMC link, the fact that these have an EMC in the first place kind of negates the whole point of setting this up over here. Like, the whole idea of having this automate the process of making processors is negligible if we can have a personal EMC link make the processors for us using EMC. All right, so we'll just take a bunch of these and just throw these in the system. There we go. And then 64K crafting components. I need 8 of these. And we're just missing some calculation processes, which maybe we have. We do. Nice. I love it when Isaac goes on a rant. Oh, it's just the circular logic that led us back to this. Like, the whole reason for making the personal EMC link was to finish the auto-crafting of the processes. But if we get the personal EMC link, we don't need to auto-craft the processes, I don't think. So it kind of all just falls apart. But anyway, I need 8 of these. I will settle for 9, but we're missing 17. So processor, give me 8 64K ME storage components. Thank you. All right. Once we have those, chat, in order to get the energy condenser, we also need 16 crystalline ingots, which we have. We do need an alchemical chest, which thankfully we should be able, I think, to make. We do. And then on top of that, we also need a ton of red matter, right? We need what? 7, 14 plus 12 is 28, 26? I think we need 26 red matter, which could prove to be an issue. These are done. Red matter. What did I say? 26? We can EMC them, Isaac. So long as they are very expensive. And thus I might run into issues. Red. How expensive are they? Red. 400,000 EMC. I didn't. Of course, I made one because I was going to save it and then didn't save it. Here we go. Boom. So 26? Oh, easy, chat. Easy. I thought they were going to be like 15 million a piece, and I was going to run into some issues there, but it looks like that should be completely fine. And then, personal EMC link. We need the highest tier of crafting table. And I think, chat, that we might actually be onto something here. I do need those crystalline ingots that I made previously. Did I not, Oh, I'm a fool, of course. Okay, so final thing, chat, that I forgot to do is the auto-crafter over here is a bit of a pain in that it doesn't output to here, so all of my ingots will be in here. They are. The final piece of the puzzle is I have to pull out of here, always active, and into the top slot, like so. And that's going to pull those crystalline ingots, pump them back into the system, and that should finish up that craft that we started earlier, hopefully. But here we go. Standard energy condenser. Kapow. And then to upgrade that to the next tier of energy condenser, we need a lot more red matter, and therefore a lot more EMC. But we need 12 supremium. We do have a lot of supremium. What is the recipe for the supremium ingot? It's a supremium ingot, and then supremium essence. If I not taught I should teach my system how to make this stuff, I think. First things first, I would like to request more patterns. And then once we have more patterns, which we now have, I would like to go ahead and teach our system how to make insaning essence. Kapow. We'll throw that in down here somewhere. And then on top of that, did that go in? It did. On top of that, I would like to teach our system how to make the tiers of ingot here. Are they all in line somewhere? They are. They're all here. Perfect. Perfect. I do need to teach you how to make the base ingot first, but all of this shouldn't, hopefully, chat, be too difficult. Our system knows how to make all of the essences already, which is great. We're just teaching it how to get all the way up to the top tier supreme ingot, so we can just autocraft them. These, unfortunately, do not have EMC, and so even if I wanted to, I could not go ahead and do this manually, although that would be nice. I am going to try and split these off into multiple different crafters, just so that they can, you know, work on an ingot at a time, and multiple different crafters can work on multiple different tiers at the same time there. And so, super premium ingot, we needed 12. Nice. Okie dokie. That was that done. Personal EMC link. What else were we missing? We do need 4 normal EMC links. Thankfully, they are EMCable, and yet more red matter blocks, which are also thankfully EMCable. We do need to do a little bit of Lordcraft here, but I'm going to shy away from doing that because, by Lord, is it tedious. We need 4 Enderium plates, which thankfully are probably like the easiest part of some of these crafts here. And I might, oh no, of course, we can just use the compactor. Enderium, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Kapow. And those will auto pump back into the system. That is fantastic. What else are we missing? We've got the energy condenser. I think really, chat, I should request the insanium. We need 4 of you. Which does need the master infusion crystal, which I think is currently being used by the other craft, maybe? Although I would assume not. Oh, have I not, do I need to change this recipe to be Insanium essence, like so, but then or dictionary substitution so that it can pull the crystal in? I hope that's what I've done wrong. Insanium 4. Next. Missing the master infusion crystal. Oh, of course, that's not how that works. Over here, we're making our Insanium with... Oh, is our master infusion crystal in here? It is. Okay. I see. So this might work. Actually, I think this will work if I put the master infusion crystal in here. But the problem is that we don't have a spare master infusion crystal. Yeah, that does work and, you know, makes that very quickly. But the master infusion crystal is currently being used to turn all of our essence into Supremium over here. What we should do is we should change this so that right now the system is set up to turn all of our Inferium essence up and into Supremium essence. And then if it needs any of the lower tiers, it just crafts it back down. We should change that to where it's making Insanium essence, and then if it needs the previous tiers, we'll craft it back down. I will do that another day. For now, back over here, personal EMC link. We need some more stuff. We've got the Supremium, I believe. We do. We should have the plates. We do. We have got the energy condenser, which, before I forget, scan it. Oop. And you know what? Whilst I'm here, I'm also going to scan you and anything else that I might not have scanned. I think I've scanned most of this stuff. I don't think we're going to need diamonds, but you know, why not? Give them a quick scan there. And also, ender conduits are definitely going to be needed in the future, and I'm going to definitely forget to scan those. So now we just need 15 blocks of red matter. And I know we can EMC this, chat. Oh, what's 15 times 4? 15 times 4 is 60. Just getting an idea. Gonna let that work in the background and give us an idea. And then all we're missing after that, chat, is the 8 mana infused ingots, which means we need 16 mana infused ingots from a different mod, and half as many mana infused shards. Yeah, this is gonna take too long. Okay, that's fine. That is fine. In that case, I will do this the old-fashioned way. That being that we'll grab some red matter, craft the block, save that in here. So that's 1.8. Let's pull up the old calculator real quick. 1.8 multiplied by 15 is 27 million EMC is what we need. So let's see if we can't get enough emeralds for 27 million EMC. I think we should definitely be able to. We've got a ton. Yeah, that's 89 million EMC right there, chat. And that's 47 blocks, which is, for those unaware, way more than 15. So I'm fairly certain that we are very, very almost there. We just need 8 mana-infused ingots. So, first question, do we have mana-infused ingots? We do. Second question is, do we have mana-infused shards? The answer is almost certainly no. Thankfully, the previous tier of mana-infused dust here, which we do have, does have an EMC. That is a lifesaver. The real question now is, do we have enough Lordcraft mana to get this done? We have currently got 7,000 Lordcraft mana, which is certainly not enough. Each one of these requires 1,000 mana, so we need... Oh boy, how many of these do we need? 16? No, 8. We need 8 of these, which means 8,000 mana. And then each one of these on its own is going to need 1,000 mana. So I think we need 16,000 mana. All right, chat, this is doable. Albeit rather tedious. So do we have any damp crystals lying around? We do. And damp crystals have an EMC. Oh, that's great. Do water siphons? Water siphons have an EMC. Fantastic. Do we have any water siphons? No. We don't have any spare ones, at least, but that's fine. I can make one water siphon and then replicate it. Of course, it has to be done over in the special Lordcraft table. That is fine. We're doing some glass and some iron. The most annoying thing is just that you have to keep coming back and clicking this button. The fact that you can't... Oh, that's the wrong block. That's going to take me over to this other dimension here. Yep, that's not what I want to be. I would like to be back at home, please. I should really remove that. I don't need that portal anymore, I don't think. This guy over here is what I am after. I would like one of you. And then... Oh, no, wait, the water... Wait, the water siphon increases my storage rate. I do this wrong every time. I think... Is it just the damp crystal alone that increases the mana amount? Oh, it is! Oh my goodness, mana is so much easier now. I can just pump that in. And we can also use the water siphons, I guess, to increase the amount of mana. Oh my goodness, that makes Lordcraft still tedious, but significantly easier whilst being tedious. Because now we don't have to continually make... Previously, we had to keep making these damp crystals over and over again. The fact that we can just now EMC those damp crystals, we can just pump all of these in, like so, and then just pump this full of damp crystals. And we don't have to worry about mana for quite some time. I'm pretty sure you could run 8 or 16 of them simultaneously. That is fair. How expensive is the Arcane Forge? Because that's a very good point. It is very much so not expensive. And so you might be onto something I'm actually drawing. I might have just, like, the way to do it might just be have multiple of them. I'm going to keep clicking this button where possible. But yeah, no acceleration wand, and apparently no way to, or no easy way that I can think of to speed this up. At least not just yet. What am I missing for a second? By the time I get this second forge, I'm not going to need it, but at the same time, I'm assuming that we're going to need even more Lordcraft stuff in the future here, so just having it at all, I think is going to make life a lot easier. So we'll click the button there. I'll take some of these out, and we can just do this, I guess. Oh, okay, yeah. So, yeah, this would make life a lot easier. I haven't tested, actually. It might even be possible that we could AUTOCRAFT with this. Like I said, I haven't tested it at all, but this is definitely the easiest way to do this. It's so much faster. All right, chat. Finally, after quite a while, we now have, I think, everything that it takes to go ahead and make, initially, the Energy Condenser Mark II. The only thing we don't have on us is one singular block of red matter, like so. Looks like I miscalculated the number that I need there, but that's fine. That is an Energy Condenser Mark II, which I will go ahead and scan real quick before we use it. I then need 4 more blocks of red matter to craft that up into a personal EMC link, kapow. And then now, I believe what we can do in here is we can generate EMC, and we can also use our EMC. So the whole reason that we made this in the first place is, for example, over here, we have got an advanced inscriber that was going to be making pressed silicon. So the way this would work is in here, we would say that we want this to make silicon. I think I've just put the silicon in the system. There is a way, hold on here, chat. I'm a little rusty. There is a way, I believe, that maybe we do, yeah, like you click it in this slot here. And so now this will make silicon using the 42.67 million EMC that we have in our EMC network. You'll see over here that we've got 42.67 EMC in our network. And then over here now that we have this, what we can do is we can have the personal EMC link make that silicon for us using that 42 million EMC. So for example, if I go ahead and put down an item conduit and have this extract always active and insert into here, that's going to just generate, it's going to use the EMC that we have. You'll see it's going down slowly, but it's going to pump that EMC into making silicon. And so now we've got infinite printed silicon. And so we don't need any of this. We don't need this interface, and we actually don't need this whole setup here, because the whole setup here was designed to make us processors. But all the processors have an EMC, and so if we need processors for a craft, we can just use the personal EMC link. So as long as we get some way of generating EMC, which we can do as simply as just sifting and pumping our sifting results into an EMC link to pump into the system, we don't need that. Anything that has an EMC, we can now just make with the personal EMC link. We can have our system make that for us using the personal EMC link, not having to do it through AUTOCRAFTing, which is real nice, super cool, and it's definitely going to help us going forward with a lot of crafts. It saved us having to do a lot of automating here, even though I did get like halfway through it. Flippin' heck. I think that's about what I'm going to wrap up for today, guys.